Hey, folks. Okay. How are things going over here? Oh. Just trying to adjust things so it looks okay. I'm just gonna grab some music as well, because I haven't sorted that out yet. Right. Things seem to be working at the moment, though. Fuck knows, you know? Apparently I'm dropping no packets, so that's good. Well, I got another spam bot. Always a good sign. Always a good sign. Okay, right. Just making sure everything is okay. Right. I do have an agenda for today, and once people sort of start filtering in a little bit more, I'll start talking about it. But yeah, I have an end goal, I suppose, for today at least. Oh, that's good. Oh, sorry about that. Right, it seems to be okay at the moment. It seems to actually be working, which is good. Like, we're at normal bit rates, CPU percentage is low, no frames dropped. Okay, welcome in, Livy, welcome in. Yes. But yeah, so I've sort of like an agenda for today. I want to finish Base Monk, and I want to test to see whether my internet is going to hold up, because whilst it is a possibility that it was a local issue that has since been fixed, I think it is much more probable. I forgot to put... Oh, there are no tags on the stream. Let's fix that. There we go, I forgot to do that. But I'm not sure whether it was a local issue, but all of the problems I was having pointed to a router problem. And what with Rona, getting that fixed anytime at all is basically a non-factor. So I was very concerned I was just not going to be able to stream for the next several weeks, which hopefully is not the case, because, I mean, the real test will be if the stream lasts all of this evening, because I want to stream until at least 9-10 o'clock. And then on top of that, if the same thing is fine tomorrow and on Sunday. Or tomorrow and Saturday even, because I'm not streaming on Sunday this week. I have shit going on. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's see. You may also notice I have a little donation thing up in the corner. By no means am I expecting people to click on it, but just to because I don't like asking for money, because I think that's kind of scummy in some cases. I had a wonderful experience on Friday, because on Monday even, because my stream broke and so did my internet. Oh, my stream broke because my internet broke, and then immediately afterwards, my chair, which I've had for the last 3 years or so, packed in. It's packed in, it's gone, it's dead, it's broken. The hydraulic in it is gone. So I am currently, I'll see if I can move so you can get a view of what I'm sitting in. No, it's too low down, it's here, you can't really see. Hang on. So this here usually hangs up back here. It is an old duvet cover. I usually just use it as like a box to keep the light in and to keep backlight off, and mostly just to create like a nicer kind of environment. And underneath that is a dressing gown, because underneath this is a 10 to 15 year old chair from an IKEA dining set bought at the absolute latest in 2008, and it constantly starts to fall to pieces, and it is a wooden dining chair. There's a cushion, it has a cushion. It's actually a better cushion than my old chair, and with all these, it's not that horrible to sit on, but at the same time, this is not a permanent solution. So I am in dire need of a chair. And whilst I have money, obviously, I don't have much. I am not monetarily gifted at this current time, shall we say. If only my spinal column could handle such things. Sitting on the floor is a very... It has a different energy to just regular sitting, you know? If you sit on the floor, it feels different. You know? I know you get some real hot takes here. Sitting on the floor feels different to just sitting on a chair like a normal person. Big brain stuff. Yeah, I'll say. There's a little donation thingy, sort of over there. This is. I don't like that this is mirrored. I don't like that. I want to unmirror this at some point. It's over there. But the agenda for today is to pray that the internet is fine and all the problems I've been having this past week are secondary and it won't happen again, even though it was awful last night. So I don't have a nervous breakdown. And also finish Monk, because I've been having a lot of fun with this, and I was especially pissed off that I actually wanted to get in a good finish the base class on Monday, and I just wasn't allowed to. I was talking to, I forget, it's one of the semi-regulars came in, and we were talking just about 5th edition in general, and and isometric RPGs like Baldur's Gate and Divinity. We were talking about that, and then my connection just died completely, and I was real pissed off about it. And then my chair broke, and then I just lost it. I was so mad. I didn't go to my normal Monday session. Normally I would have a game this evening, but we rescheduled because Katie, one of the players, is currently in a big old group stream with the I'm not sure if they're a specific group, but with a bunch of big streamers, so yeah, that's cool. I mean, she's done it before, but I mean, we're playing on Sunday, so it don't matter, but I mean, you get Sunday vibes instead. I say Katie's off being like a real streamer instead of like a fucking moron like me, with a nifty fucking atmospheric backgrounds and, you know, sitting around with some themings and I wouldn't say a budget, but like, you know, some actual equipment as opposed to my shitty webcam and my fucking dining chair. And this here, which is another duvet cover. Well, it's from the same duvet set, but you know, there's no quilt in it this time. This is like a spare room that I'm using as like basically just I have been using as like my studio stroke office for the last like several years. Right. So I'm going to do what I do every time I start here, and I'm going to start scanning through some of the stuff I've done, just looking for like noodly bits I probably want to change. Oh, defense, martial arts. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The position we have with key right now. Oh, there's one like fucking hair here, fuck's sake. The position we're in with key at the moment is that your key pool has been significantly reduced and you only get it back on a long rest. However, when you crit or knock somebody to 0, you get key back. And you also get mind focus at 3rd level, which once per short rest lets you get 1 key point back in like 5 minutes of meditation. Which... And that also ramps up, so once you hit 9th, when you've got like actually like quite a lot of key points. Obviously these numbers, we can fiddle with them like some more, like in theory, and I think it's probably not a bad idea to do it. In theory, we could increase this scaling so it goes up to 12. I'm not sure specifically how we would gear that, but that is something I would certainly consider doing. I would maybe make it go 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12. But I think the main thing is that we don't want this end to just kind of suck, and we don't want this end to be, I literally never have to think about using key because I always have more than enough to do everything I need to. And obviously once you're at 20th level, that's like, you know, the 20th level character is probably supposed to have, like, you know, it's meant to be just, like, effortlessly well-equipped all the time, which is cool. But when it gets to be, like, key just becomes, like, a non-factor of a mechanic because you have so much of it that you will never use it all, that's the problem that Base Monk has. Because you will never use it all. You know, even if you run that standard encounter structure of, like, you know, like you have, like, you know, you're dungeon delving or something. In a combat, unless that combat is of major importance, a monk is going to use a maximum of 2 key points, and a 20th level monk in the PHB, which is over here, has... Oh man, I may as well pick the damn thing up if I'm going to gesture to the PHB. There we go. A 20th level monk has 20, so a 20th level monk would, by proxy... Oh, my phone was under there, I didn't realise that, whoops. A 20th level monk would have to go through a minimum of 10 encounters to use all of their key points in a day. Obviously not, you know, or, for example, say the monk uses, you know, 6 key points in a boss encounter and 2 key points in every other encounter, then that's still, so you've got, like, boss brings them to 6, you know, 1 encounter, 2 encounters, 3 encounters, 4 encounters. 4 encounters in a boss battle, and they've still used... They've used, like 12 key points? Oh, well, obviously, yeah, but I'm saying, like, you know, sort of... As an example, like, if you're running that normal encounter structure where you're running a series of not particularly challenging encounters, and then a big boss that's really hard. Obviously, you don't generally do that sort of thing at 20th level, but... Yeah, I don't know. I think it's... I mean, 2 key points. You're talking about like a 2-round combat here, right? Like most of these small combat encounters would be 2 rounds, and the monk would have either 1 turn where they don't use any key points, and 1 turn where they use 2, or both turns they use 1 key point to do Flurry of Blows, for instance, which is kind of, the obvious ability to use because it's just easy DPS. Like in that kind of in that kind of environment, you wouldn't expect a monk to use maybe 3 if they really wanted to get it over fast, but like you use 2. I think it's definitely very likely, but if certainly a player that is being conservative, and I think base monks don't need to be conservative, because unless you're in a situation where you are doing back-to-back encounters without rest, from like all day, you do 1 encounter straight into the next, straight into the next, straight into the next, and then a boss. That is when a monk is even in base. Well, no, not in base, but certainly this version of a monk would actually have a lot of problems with that, especially if they weren't being conservative. And I think I might, but I think at the same time, I think mind focus is kind of the key, pun unintended, to kind of fix that problem, where, asking your group to take a short rest in the middle of a dungeon, yeah, that's probably a bit much, but asking your group to sit tight for 5 minutes whilst I meditate, there's not going to be many situations where you can't do that, unless you're being actively hunted, and they are very close behind you, like within a mile of you, kind of close. Sitting down and meditating for 5 minutes is something you're going to be able to do, and obviously until you hit 9th, it's not very exciting because you only get 1 key point back, but once you hit 9th, you get 2, which is pretty substantial. And once you hit, I think it's 15th? Yeah, 15th you get 3. And at 15th level, you have 9 key points. That's a third of your key back for 5 minutes of just vibing. And during a short rest, yeah, I think there is certainly a degree where this number may need to go up, because I think we have kind of like certainly decreased monks' key uses by some degree, but I think the issue will come up here and not, or down here and not up here, because this number here I don't think is going to be a problem at all, but I think this number here could actually be a problem. I think we may get into a position where we're doing 333, 444, 555, 666, 777, 8889, which I think is... It really depends. This is where the playtesting is going to come in, and basically just getting feedback from other people, because this is the kind of thing that I'm going to throw out there and be like, well, how do people feel about this? Specifically the key points, because whilst your ability to gain key points has been massively increased, the number of key points you have and the ways for you to get them back in a linear fashion has been like butchered. I think I think the version of monk that we're going for here is certainly with a lot of the key powers or key techniques. I keep forgetting we changed the name. The key techniques are a lot more powerful now. The monk damage scaling is they scale up faster, or slightly faster anyway. I think I think the nerf is sort of makes them a bit more interactive in that they require a bit more thought, and I think obviously we can counteract that by making some of the key techniques a bit more powerful. Though I'm not 100% sure how we would do that. But I think actually, because our 11th level feature, we've been hunting for one for a while. I think something that could actually be quite notable. I'm curious of how this could work, but I'll have a think about it in a second, actually. Yeah, I think I think certainly our sort of aim with Monk is to make them more powerful at higher levels, and I think adding in more of the key techniques is certainly a way to get that working, but I'm not 100%. I'm not 100%. Oh, something I learned quite recently. They nerfed Astral Self in Tasha's, which I learned about. I heard about it in passing, at least, which will be interesting to see how it interacts with what we've done here. But I think my ultimate end goal, at the very, very least, is to make Monk feel more cinematic and make it feel more oomph, I guess. There's not really a way to word it, but like more, instead of every single turn being, I walk up to this guy, I punch him twice, and then use flurry of blows to punch him 2 more times, and that's it. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. If you can find it, that should be quite interesting. I know that they basically get like flurry of blows for free, which I think is probably the problem. Right. So far, internet is good. I've seen no frame drops thus far. Bitrate is still looking good, still in the green. Yeah, and we've been streaming for like half an hour, and I think it was only about 20 minutes in that things went to shit last time, so this is going very well so far. So yeah, the main thing I'm looking to do today, obviously I will move on to other things because this probably won't take long, is make this feature. I have some ideas. Then, to make these three disciplines. So another 14th level one, and the two more 17th level ones. My initial thought, I think, for an 11th level feature, I think is some kind of like flat damage buff. Because, hang on, I know I could just look this up, but I do have the PHB here and I never use it because basically all of it I've changed, so it's completely pointless for me to have it. I mean, I mean, I guess the purpose being that, you know, I read it so I could change the things in it I didn't like, which was almost all of it. So, but... right, I'm thinking something akin to Paladin's Improved Divine Smite, where maybe not to the same degree, because monks get a lot of attacks, though that could actually be quite interesting. Because Paladins do a flat bonus D8 radiant damage on hit every single attack. And something akin to that, not to the same degree, but something akin to that could turn the tide in monks being good at low levels and awful at high levels to monks just being kind of good. Like, if you just do a flat 1d4 bonus force damage or whatever on all of your attacks, all of your unarmed strike and monk weapon attacks, that would almost certainly be quite good, I should think. I think it would be kind of a non-bow with Sun Soul. I'll have to check, because I reworded the way Sun Soul's Radiant Sunbolt works, because it was dumb. I mean, to be fair, I could just add a clause to it. That could be interesting. I suppose, Joe, would you have any particular insight on that? Because it seems like the obvious go-to to just make monks better, just blanketly better at killing stuff. But I don't know. There might be some kind of thing I'm missing. My thought was to take something like Improved Divine Smite that Paladins get at 11th, and giving something akin to it, though at a lesser degree, to just giving it to monks. Because that would certainly, certainly to my understanding at least, the reason why monks fall off so hard at later levels is they just don't do any damage. They do a million attacks, and none of them really hit much harder than just getting poked. So I think it could certainly prove to be very strong, but it really depends. Oh yeah. It would be monk weapon attack or unarmed strike. That's what it was. It's something akin to it that works with monk. Because am I right in saying that the reason monks fall off so hard at later levels is because of damage output? Because to my knowledge, that is the reason that they kind of suck. But I may be wrong. I'm also just going to put down the PHP because I found the feature I was looking for. I have a big old stack of books here because I don't have a fucking shelf to put them on. Oh god. I'll start toying with it. It would be like improved key empowered strikes. Ugh. When you reach 11th level, your key is so heavily infused. Sweet. Yeah. Your key is so heavily infused into your fighting style that your attacks Tracker foes with incredible weight. For your damage rolls for unarmed strikes and monk weapons, or no, your unarmed strikes and monk weapon attacks deal an additional 1d4 force damage if you have a feature that allows you to replace an unarmed strike or let's replace an unarmed strike or monk weapon attack with another type of attack. That attack also benefits from this feature. So that works with Radiant Sunbolt, because it replaces an unarmed strike with a Radiant Sunbolt. So that's good. I think this could genuinely be the linchpin to making monks good at high level, is just like, you have Flurry of Blows, that's a flat extra 10 damage, there is your Great Weapon Master. And on average, it's as good, and it has the capacity to be better at the cost of, instead of it being one attack at slight disadvantage, you have to spend, Flurry of Blows and also hit all 4 attacks. So I would say this is the key, pun intended this time, to fixing Monk. Or certainly bringing them up to speed and not making them low tier. Even if they're not quite there, even if they're not quite at the same level, because, balance is very much a fine art, and you're not always going to hit it. And in some cases it is actually just not possible to hit it, in certain cases anyway. That's a very long ability name. Improved key empowered strikes. So that is, yeah, I am a fan of this. I am a fan of this. This is cool. Now on to some of the disciplines. Ascetic way, instead of sleeping you may enter a deep meditative state, remaining semi-conscious for 1 hour per day. After resting in this way, you gain the benefits of a regular individual, that a regular individual would from 8 hours of sleep. Additionally, you no longer need to eat or drink to survive. Shield of Will, whenever you complete a long rest, roll a number of d6 equal to your wisdom modifier. You gain temporary hit points equal to the number rolled. You must spend at least 1 hour of your long rest in deep meditation to gain this benefit. That's cool. Tongue of the Sun and Moon, you understand all spoken languages. Moreover, any creature can understand a language. And that can understand a language can understand what you say. Oh, yeah. They're not like, they're not ranger tier, but they're still kind of not very good. I think, personally for me, anyway, monks don't bring anything thematically, or they don't bring anything utility to the table. They don't bring any... Monks are there for themselves, which feels very out of flavor. If there's going to be any martial class that's going to be quite adept at being a help to the group, a monk should probably be one of those classes. Like, fighters and monks should be the utility offense, which I think this monk has kind of captured. obviously, yeah, Ranger has like, yes, this feature does nothing, or this subclass is an active detriment to your character, or every single spell I have access to except Hunter's Mark is awful, or other assorted fun things. Yeah, Ranger is Ranger, I think, even after all of the dumb shit that WotC has done with 5e, Ranger is still easily the worst thing they've done. Like, Blade Singer was a mistake. Hexblade was probably largely a mistake. But Ranger still sort of stands, especially to me, as like just the biggest disservice, because it's a whole class. The whole class is just bad. Obviously, it has use. Hunter is actually kind of okay. Like, if you take Hunter for what it is, Hunter is actually pretty good. It's just everything that surrounds Hunter is awful. It's really bad. Like, Rangers and Pallies are meant to be kind of on the same level, whereas Pallies are like one of the best classes in the game, and Ranger is just like, just a meme. Ranger's just a fucking meme. Pally over here with like an actually pretty decent spell list. Not that it matters, because they have Divine Smite, so they don't need to cast spells to be good. And then Ranger out here just like... Yeah, like, Ranger... Like, certainly PHB Ranger is borderline unplayable. But Xanathars did a lot for Ranger by making... By basically attaching massively overtuned subclasses to Ranger in the vain attempt to make it good and relevant. And they kind of did that. Like, Gloomstalker and Horizon Walker make Ranger playable, but they don't fix any of the problems that Ranger has that make it awful. You know, Ranger still is largely very unfun because they just don't do anything. Regardless of how cool Horizon Walker and Hunter and Gloomstalker are, like, it kind of doesn't matter. But, either way, our 9th level... to push that creature as per the shove action to part of the same attack. That's cool. You get immunity to poison and disease. To end one effect on your... you can use your... that should be charmed or frightened. Oh, yeah. But that's because it's so, like, ridiculously overtuned. It's like they went out of their way, I think, or knowing WotC, they probably stumbled arse backwards into making something, like, insanely busted, but because it's on Ranger, it's just kind of not that great, you know? It's, I'm trying to think of another example of this, where it's like, they make something ridiculously powerful, but you have to take something really bad to get it. It's like, it's like, if you wanted to take Great Weapon Master, you had to take Weapon Master, first. Would Great Weapon Master be worth it? Probably not. Regardless of how, or if you had to take Sharpshooter, you had to take, I don't know, another really shitty feat. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something like outside of the context. I feel like this is probably some kind of like Hearthstone thing, right? Where like they print like a stupidly overpowered card, but attach it to like the worst class in the game. Or what is currently, at least, the worst class in the game, because I know with Hearthstone it fluctuates violently from set to set. If you hear some creaking, that's the chair. It is very old. I'll say this chair was probably put together in 2008, when I was 7 years old, so, forgive its creaky, horrid nature. Oh. Yeah, connection seems to be going well, so that's good. I forgot about offensive and defensive stance. I actively forgot about these. I'm still not sure how I feel about them. The first time you make a monk weapon attack or unarmed strike on each turn. Okay, no, that's probably not so bad. You may add 1d4 to the attack roll's result. Or you can take defensive stance and be tankier, like notably, like +1 AC. Obviously, AC becomes a bit redundant at higher levels, but +1 saving throws. That's good at all levels. So like, I like them. I really do like them, but they feel so, you know, they feel weird. It feels wrong. Them kind of, almost them existing. Like kind of. If you roll a hit dice to regain hit once. Yes. I remember the darkness. I remember because I played Kobolds and Catacombs and I liked it a lot. Well, I played the adventure mode of Kobolds and Catacombs. More specifically. Right, I think for the disciplines, I want some form of 13th level one. I don't know specifically how that's going to work, or what that's going to do. But we shall see. Yeah. And I see, because the 13th level ones, we have Ascetic Way and Tongue of the Sun and Moon, which are like flavor things. And then there is the Defensive Shield of Will, so I want some kind of offensive combat ability, but I'm not entirely sure what that should be, per se. Maybe... Very nice, very nice. Flowing mind. Or flowing body and mind. Actually, no, that's a feature I want to do for Way of the Flowing River. I'm going to write that down, actually. Hang on. Like a pencil. I'll probably start working on that after this. Give me a second. Don't mind me. It's down here. Okay, right. I wrote it down. I had a good idea. I would say I don't have this very often, but I'm not quite that self-deprecating. Oh shit. Oh bruh. So fourth level, fourth one. I'm thinking like, Ooh, here we go. Here's a thought. Yeah, this could be kind of cool, actually. Some kind of like speed bonus, kind of a race the wind. So it's like Step of the Wind, but you can get a discipline called Race the Wind. Whenever you take the dash action, you may move an additional 15 feet as a part of that dash. As a part of that additional movement, or as a part of that action, or as a part. Yeah. So when you dash or you step of the wind and dash as a bonus action, you zoom an extra 15 feet, which can help you zip around a lot more. Could be interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that, like too much, because that might not be that interesting, but it's cool. It's kind of neat. I'm not sure if it's a 13th level feature. I think is more the issue. I think that's probably something you could take at like a 5th. Because it's not really that. I like this. I'm not going to get rid of it, but I am going to... Hang on. Oh, whoops. Yeah. Race the wind, and I'll reduce this. Yeah, it's not exciting. Obviously, these are all like minor things, like the invocations and stuff like that. I think Tranquility you get at night lets you mimic the effects of a spell, and I think that could be interesting, but I kind of want a more, like a less esoteric kind of, I want just like a straight raw punch people kind of thing. Ooh, here we go. I'm not sure what the name would be. The first time you... disadvantage on an unarmed strike or monk weapon attack on your turn. You instead do not suffer disadvantage. The first time you would suffer disadvantage on an unarmed strike or monk weapon attack on each of your turns, you do not suffer. You instead do not suffer disadvantage. That, again, it is not crazy exciting, but it is blatantly quite good. Like, once on each of your turns, you say no to disadvantage, which is pretty cool. And also, combines with offensive stance, because the first time you were to make a monk weapon attack or unarmed strike, you add a d4. So basically, the first attack you make every turn, unless you roll like shit, you're gonna hit. Like, that's just gonna happen. So some kind of like precision style. I don't have any abilities. No. So, precision style. That's cool. I like it. It's not, insane. It's not stupid strong. It's just kind of neat. And, yeah, it's like it is a tool that is of reasonable power to a monk. Which is obviously what we're going for. So... Now we need the 17th level ones. What I'm going to do with this, not 100% certain. Like, not really sure. I have some ideas. I'm not sure. Oh, just untying my hair. Ow. 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 Need to brush my hair. I haven't had a shower earlier on today. Like, my hair's still kind of damp, actually. I had a shower, like, 7 hours ago. My hair's still kind of damp. But I have very thick hair, and quite long hair as well. Just tuck that under there. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. So, Battle Soul at 17th level. So when you roll initiative and have less than 3 key points, you regain 3 expended key points until you have 3. I kind of like this notion of when you roll initiative, or something that takes place at the start of combat. I kind of like that. So that could be a fun like motif or pattern to go with, per se. But who knows? We'll see. No. During the first round of combat, you have advantage on all attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. Additionally, you cannot be surprised. So that includes whilst you're unconscious, by the way. If you're you're unconscious, you just like just open one eye and you're like, you open one eye and you're like, oh, there's a fight going on, and you just kind of stand up and don't give a shit. Or you're probably still, asleep on. Well, you were asleep anyway. I'm not sure how I feel about this ability, but it's neat. Getting advantage on everything for the first round of combat. It's pretty good. During the first round of each combat, you have advantage on all attack rolls. Or maybe perfect discipline, or it could be called focused adrenaline. Nah, I prefer perfect discipline. So obviously perfect discipline, if you're like a boxer, it is interesting. Let's go. Let's go look at what the fuck one of the old Where the fuck is... Okay, here we go. Right, let's have a look. Weapon of warning. No, shut up. God, what is with, every fucking website being like, oh, you choose your fucking cookie options. Fuck off, I don't care. Weapon of warning. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's cool. I like it. It's cool. I think it's, this is obviously, deceptively powerful. And it's probably the star of the show as opposed to advantage on everything for the first round. Okay, yeah, this is just you. Though, to be fair, you can use, you not being surprised to be like, hey, everyone, stop being surprised. Stop it. I don't think that's how that works, but, maybe it is. If your DM is nice. But the third and last one, obviously, none of these should really be flavor. They should be flavor-full abilities, but they shouldn't be, Tongue of Sun and Moon, which, you would probably take because it's kind of useful, or it's kind of interesting anyway. Fine at the moment, surprisingly. But yeah, welcome in, Ethan. Yeah, I have dropped no frames. This might be a dud. Maybe it wasn't a router issue. Maybe it was a local thing. I don't know. But it was pretty rough last night after they had supposedly fixed it, so it might just be my router going like, I'm going to decide to work today. The real test is going to come tomorrow. Oh, it's the same as it was before, but, you know, it's always fun. I know there's a thing I can do. I know other streamers have it, where I can have, like, where is it? When people put emojis in chat and they like pop up on screen, what the fuck are those? I don't know. I'll have to ask. I'll have to ask because I have no idea. But I think my sort of aim. I think the last one. I kind of like the start of combat theme. But I think we can probably remove these now because they were like indicators before that we don't actually need. I don't actually know what to put for this last one. I'm genuinely not sure at all. Maybe I think trying to adhere to this like beginning of combat thing is a unnecessary restriction. It's nice to have a pattern, but shouldn't adhere to it just for the sake of adhering to it. Especially not at the cost of something more important. Something of notable power. Something equivalent to being able to start a combat with no key points and then suddenly have 3 key points. Or having advantage on everything and not being able to be frightened, or not frightened, surprised. Magic resistance? Maybe? No, that would just be blatantly better than the other two and also doesn't really make that much sense. I had a thought, but no. Oh, okay. Power Strike. It's a name pending. It's kind of shit, I know. The first time you roll damage for your improved key empowered strikes feature each turn, roll a d12 instead of a d4. That seems pretty substantial. where you go from rolling, you know, a little baby dice. Oh, I don't actually have. Hang on. Actually, let's get any dice on the go. That's probably the best way to go about this. Any dice is our friend. Hang on. Screen capture. Enlarge. It's me. Okay, right. So output. Oh God, O2 pet. Output. So we're looking at, say you hit, so realistically, most monks are going to take Flurry of Blows because it's Flurry of Blows. Why would you not take it? So you're going to be rolling 4d12 plus 20 plus 4d4. We're looking at the average of about 56 points of damage, which is pretty fucking good. Or maybe 57, I think that is, actually. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. That's pretty decent. And then if we bump that, make that like this, plus... Oh, hang on. Easier way. So you get this kind of curve instead, which is actually quite a sizable increase. I think that's about a 60% average, or a 60. It's an average of 4 bonus damage every round, or to a maximum of, I think, 8 bonus damage every round. Or well, I suppose the maximum would be technically 11, because instead of rolling a d4, you're rolling a d12. So you could roll 1 on the d4. And you could roll 12 on the d12, but whatever. Like, this does affect your average in a not insignificant fashion, which I think is good. Yeah, I like this. I like that. That's good. Not to mention, let's actually weigh up. Like, this is assuming they have no benefits. This is a monk's damage versus a fighter. A fighter makes 4 attacks as well. Let's say they have let's say they have a +2 greatsword and use Great Weapon Master. Make 4 attacks. So yeah, Great Weapon Master. Yeah, that's zoinks. Zoinks indeed. Yeah, it's plus 48, so yeah. Oh wait, no, did I do that wrong? 28, no, 38. I'm an idiot. Ooh. Why does that come up differently? Oh no, it doesn't. I'm just stupid. Yeah, this is quite interesting. Oh, I'm just gonna move this over here. I forgot I had this on this screen. Whoops. This is quite interesting, I feel. The idea is very similar to the way that it used to, just a bit more dynamically. Hang on. It's I know dynamic is kind of a nonsense buzzword, but yes, welcome in. I will sort of give you the rundown. I think it's probably the best way to go about it. Let me just go and our main sort of port of call is splitting, sort of reducing key a little bit, but making it much easier to get. Giving the monk a few more tools. These numbers here are potentially going to change, but whatever. The main thing is taking all of the key abilities like Flurry of Blows and Step of the Wind and all that, and codifying them and making a bunch of them. So you have, the classics. You've got Deflect Missiles, Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, and Step of the Wind is here somewhere. Step of the Wind is here. So from there, we got new ones like Guard Break. You punch somebody and they take a penalty to their armor class. Okay. Sounds good, sounds good. I'll say, how is it coming along? Oh. Yeah, Monk is pretty weak. Some of the changes, certainly the change I made today, namely this. Okay, what's the theme? Oh god, this fucking chair, Jesus Christ. Okay. Sounds neat. Oh. Just shifting this down. Okay, right. Let's move some stuff around, don't mind me. Right. Oh shit, yeah, I just sort of clocked. That is the base class kind of done. Which is pretty neat, if I would say. Yeah. We did most of the ones that we didn't axe have been converted over here, including Long Death, Executioner, Eldritch Domain. Warlock subclasses are good fun. Getting the theming for Warlock subclasses is great fun. I've done a couple Warlock subclasses on stream here. I forget which ones though. Actually, I'll have to go to look. I know I did the Spirit of Hatred. That was fun. That was a fun one. Actually, no, I think I've only ever done one on stream, but I've done a lot in general. I take it you're looking at releasing the compendium on the guild or something to that effect. Oh, God. Okay. When to go patron. Sounds neat. Oh, Christ. Oh, God, sitting is a bastard. Trying to find oh, the bot timer turned out just right. Yeah, I've been releasing stuff on the guild for a little while, but I've had no, I don't. I didn't mention Cauldron. To be fair, I don't remember what I said 30 seconds ago, but yeah, I'd say the Wendigo stuff sounds pretty interesting. I realise actually oh no, I was asking if you were releasing. You were looking at the compendium. You were looking at releasing the compendium on the guild or something. I think you said it was a compendium. I may be misinterpreting. Oh no, yeah, you did. No, I'm saying when you release it. Ah, okay. No bonus action attacks. Okay, that kind of. I'll say it can't hurt. It can't hurt, to be fair. You can use a lot of like royalty-free art, and some of it's actually good. It's hard to find, but some of it is okay. Yeah. Obviously, you'll want an editor to give it a comb over, but it's worth the time you put into it. I'll tell you that. If you can sort of get yourself into circles and start working on bigger projects with people, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. As somebody who has done more or less the exact same thing. Hmm. To my knowledge, that is I don't actually no, I don't think that is allowed on the guild. Actually, I think you have to use their they're very stringent with art on the guild. I mean, anywhere really, because you're selling something commercially with art you technically don't own. So it's and all of their art is commissioned. So they would presumably have to go back and be like, can people use this in their DM's guild stuff? And most artists go, no, they can't. You paid for my art, nobody else. They're not paying, which is pretty reasonable, to be fair. Yeah, I think for the rest of the stream, because I'll be going for probably another hour ish. Ooh, interesting. Visage of the astral self. Yeah, you get astral sight. You can see through non-magical darkness or all darkness, which is pretty sick. Yeah, you don't have to. I as somebody who has released 1, 2, 3, 4 projects on the guild, I have not spent a penny. Not once. So yeah, you don't have to. If you can find royalty-free art or Creative Commons art, you can use that. If you can cobble together a half-decent looking cover, which, by the way, is not crazy difficult, you come out with something pretty good. As it takes a lot of learning how to do stuff yourself. You gotta learn Photoshop. Well, a little bit of Photoshop to make a cover. Oh, that's cool. I like that. But yeah, certainly when I was making stuff, I had to learn GM Binder CS or CSS. Basically, you need to learn CSS or some basic CSS at the very, very least. CSS through osmosis, I think it was the term that I think Ethan, I'm not sure if Ethan's here at the moment, it was the term that he used, which is where you sort of learn via just looking at stuff. I mean, any similar paint.net is free. GIMP is GIMP is for art, not for image. But yeah, just get paint.net, next best thing. Doesn't have clipping masks, which kind of sucks, I have to say, because clipping masks are good stuff. And not to mention, Photoshop is not hard to acquire through other means. There is fuck, I lost my train of thought. I was too busy memeing about piracy. I beat him to it. I mean, technically, I probably didn't. They probably made that change months ago, but technically speaking, I did. Wait, no, fuck, I didn't. No, I didn't call it. I think I joked about the fact that they didn't. I called it Visage of the Astral Self. No? Awakening? Never mind. I've no clue what the fuck I'm talking about. Whatever. Either way, some image, your ability to make a cover. It doesn't have to look incredible. It just has to look okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. You need to go find Creative Commons art. Like, find, art of a Wendigo that you think is applicable and put it in the book. As long as it's Creative Commons, you can use it. And that's it. Like, and whilst they are difficult to find, some artists will work for royalty. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. That's very colourful. Very odd. Either way, you gotta sort of, your ability to make a cover, it doesn't have to look amazing, it just has to look okay. Certainly somebody I have worked with, no, it's fine. Yeah, no, I say that's part of the purpose of me streaming this. I say, like realistically, you don't need to worry about releasing stuff the first time you make anything. If this is like actively your first time making anything, then yeah, don't worry about that shit. But like, it's basically getting feedback from people who know what the fuck they're talking about. Ah, okay, right, I understand. Yeah, oh, yeah, word of the spirit. Okay, that's cool. Honestly, I might do the same. I'm gonna do the same thing. You did it, wizards. You did something that wasn't fucking stupid. But yeah, so the main thing is you get feedback from people who know what the fuck they're talking about. I would recommend the Discord of Many Things. Just Google it, should be the first result. They have a decent bit of know-how on balancing stuff. They're brutal at times. Oh yeah, there's there's the obvious Way of the Astral Self, which is like, it's good stuff. I haven't seen JoJo. I haven't seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I have no particular desire to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I respect the hustle. They knew what they were doing when they made this, and I respect it strongly. And also, Circle of the Stars Druid is fucking rad as hell, and I love it. Circle of the Stars is like easily one of my favorite subclasses in the entire game. It's so cool. Oh, is that what? Is it Armorer? Is that the one? I don't know. I don't pay much attention to Artificer. Key consumption. Oh, right. Yeah, the cost of Visage of the Astral Self. Yeah, I say yeah. Goblin and a mech, yeah. I like Artificer in base, but my own home game, I have something that is like a hop, skip, and a jump away from Artificer, so I felt adding Artificer into my game was not really necessary when I had a whole separate class that was more setting appropriate. It's called like the Rune Shaper, and it's just kind of like, it's rune magic, and Artificer is a subclass of Rune Shaper, as opposed to a full class in and of itself. And it seems to, because Artificer is a bit divisive, because it's very anti-medieval fantasy. I think by definition, Artificer is not going to work in medieval fantasy, like, at all. But, like, certainly if I was going to run Birthright, for example, like the Birthright setting from 2nd edition, which I love. Having never played 2nd edition, I love Birthright, I want to run it so bad. I would not allow an Artificer into that game. because it's medieval fantasy, you know, with peasant villages, 11th century peasant villages and shit like that. There's not going to be an artificer anywhere. I do also like Eberron as well. Like, I'm not really well versed in Eberron by any means, but I like the Warforged and the Changelings. I just hate the Kalashtar. I think they're fucking stupid. I hate the Kalashtar and the Azamar. They're my least favorite races in 5th edition because they're just it's a human, but with like a half a level in Cleric and Warlock respectively, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Right. Next step, custom subclasses. Custom subclass time. I have a few ideas of things I want to do. Way of the Coiled Serpent is... I think we know about this already. Certainly, I think Joe does anyway. I think kobolds are just broken now. I mean, they were anyway, but they're probably just extra broken now because they have no penalty for all of the dumb shit that they get. It's like, hee-hoo, let's give pack tactics to a race, or in the Yuan-Ti and the Satyr, it's like, hee-hee, let's give a race magic resistance, because apparently, you know, we let the fucking work experience kid do the balance. The orcs are mostly... No, the orcs have aggressive, and the aggressive is ridiculous as well. It's like, hee-hoo, bonus action dash. It's like... Excuse me? Bonus action dash is like... even the worst version of bonus action dash, which is Step of the Wind, is still incredible, because, you know, it's dash. You double your movement for a round. That's insane. It just is just beyond me how absolutely ludicrous that is. Ugh. Oh, God. Oh, no, they won't. Kobolds, what they're going to do is they're going to consider the fact that kobolds just get +2 dex and be like, and nothing else, and be like, yes, this warrants us giving them pack tactics, when it doesn't at all. You don't balance classes. Like, the way balance works is you put 2 rocks on either side of the scale that weigh the same. You don't just, you know, you don't just put a boulder on one side and 7 separate smaller rocks on the other side. That's not what balance is, you know? Like, and to explain that awful analogy, you don't balance something by giving a race a massive downside, or a bunch of minor penalties. You don't balance anything by giving something a bunch of minor penalties to justify a massive, stupidly overpowered feature, or the other way around, especially not the other way around. Because they're so easily, like, gameable. Like, kobolds are especially broken because a -1 strength is like a non-factor, because strength in 5th edition sucks. Like, you only build strength if you're a barbarian, and barbarians aren't that good anyway, so, like, why would you ever build strength for anything? I think that is, like, kind of the biggest problem, is that strength sucks. So -1 strength on a kobold literally does not matter at all. No, it doesn't make any difference, and it never will. So it's kind of a non-factor. And then sunlight sensitivity is just kind of its own personal mistake, because I don't think there are any DMs that run sunlight sensitivity. Oh, obviously, yeah. Like Variant Human is just, like, generically the best, you know, the best race, but it's not broken in the way something like Kobold is, where it's just kind of like, this face value, you're just better than everybody else kind of thing. Humans, you need to... Oh, they aren't, I don't think. I don't think they're being reworked. Like, human, you actually have to, like, use your brain for 5 seconds to make variant human good. And elves are just kind of... And without elven accuracy, elves are just kind of good. Like, they're just good. Because they get good they get good ASIs. And that's kind of it. Without elven accuracy, elves aren't that special. They're just decent. Because racial feats were a mistake. I still agree with. Oh yeah. I think I'm more that like variant human is like just the strongest race in the game, just by virtue of a feat is a feat. But yeah, just by the most poorly balanced races in the game are Yuan-Ti pureblood, followed by kobold, and then satyr, and then orc. Oh yeah, like most any class that gets magic resistance does not get it pre-level 10. Like I think the earliest at which you can get magic resistance just as a class feature is Abjuration Wizard at 14th level. Admittedly, you also get resistance to spell damage then as well, which is even more ridiculous, but that's a whole other can of worms. Magic resistance is... I certainly very consistently forget about it, but players certainly don't. Players, if a player has magic resistance, they will remind you every single time they make a saving throw against the spell. But yeah, GMs, I'm notorious for just forgetting magic resistance is even a thing. So yeah, I'm trying to train myself to be better with magic resistance, but oh yeah, 100%. Like classes, once as long as a class is not getting it pre-level 10, it's good. It's good in my book. Magic resistance is cool. It's like a blanketly, like you read it and you go, oh, this is good. It's one of those like effortlessly simple designs that just works because anyone can read it and go, I understand why this is good. You don't even need to know what a saving throw is, and you instantly go, this is a strong ability. Because it's just against all magic. It's like, that's pretty fucking good. That's just generically fantastic. It's great. Any way than what they have been. Hobgoblins and goblins work well. Those ones are good. Bugbear is weird, but it's mostly fine. Yeah, so no negative ability scores. Stop giving things magic resistance and pack tactics. That's kind of it, really. Everything else about the monstrous races is fine. There's... Just don't do negative ability scores and don't give things stupidly overpowered abilities that classes shouldn't even be getting until high levels. It's kind of it. Oh, I dropped something on the floor. Give me a second. It's just like... Fuck. Where is it? There it is. Don't mind me. Just disappearing out of frame. Oh no, Grovkauer is fine. It's good. It's a good ability, but like, it's a good ability. Grovkauer is like completely reasonable. It's strong, but yeah, a strong ability is. Oh yeah. I think hobgoblins are certainly the most balanced and also the best ones because hobgoblins are great and everybody likes them. And if you don't, well then you're just wrong because hobgoblins are the best race. Fuck humans. Humans are for normies. Hobgoblins all the way. Hell yeah. Fucking love me some hobgoblins. Hobgoblins are the fucking business. But either way. To actually do simplicity work. Yeah, that's the core factor here. Is you basically can't use it as a ranged character, and it takes your whole turn. So if you're like, Oh no, saving face is awesome. It's like you get to reroll one attack or save per short rest, and that's kind of like a non-factor, really. Like it's good, but like there are infinitely better racial features than saving face. I'll go give it a read just to refresh myself, because I may have just listed the wrong ability, but I'm like 80% certain that saving face is just kind of a non-issue. Whenever you... Oh no, it's attack, check, or save. Oh, yeah, you just gain a flat bonus to the roll. So you don't even get to reroll either. So if you roll especially badly, it just doesn't matter. So maximum... Yeah, it's a number of allies. Like, realistically, your bonus to this is going to cap out at like +3. So once per short rest, when you fail something... As long as you know for certain that +3 will cause you to succeed, this ability is like pretty good, but otherwise it's not really that big of a deal. But I think there were a lot of like meme races in Plane Shift, which because I reworked a lot of those races on stream a couple of months ago, actually. I had a good time with that. It was quite good fun. Just memeing on how awful the design of those races is. Oh, well, yeah, obviously, like, martial training is just kind of a non-factor. No, wizards and sorcerers don't. It's actually really, really good for wizards and sorcerers. Hobgoblin is, like, actually really, really strong for wizards and sorcerers. No, Plane Shift is pretty awful. Like, almost universally awful. It's official in the same way that Unearthed Arcana is official. If somebody came to me saying, I want to play this thing from Plane Shift to my table, I would say, no, fuck off. Because all of the stuff from Plane Shift is egregiously terrible. All the cleric domains are just like, let's like mishmash a bunch of features from the other existing cleric domains and then call it a day. And all of the races are laughably awful. Some of them are like interesting, but they suck. Obviously not, no, but like it's in many, certainly at low levels, when you're like level 1 and you have like, you know, you don't want to spend your one of your 2 spell slots on casting mage armor every day. That's pretty good. Not to mention, if you do multi-classing just kind of wrong, you can, like, it basically saves you a level 1 spell slot, which at higher levels doesn't mean anything. I would say it was done aggressively poorly, but like conceptually, Plane Shift is a fucking great idea, and I'm glad that they've since done it properly in the form of Ravnica and Theros. And I bet I 100% guarantee next year we will get an Innistrad book, 100%, and I'm on board for that shit. There's a possibility it'll be like Strixis or Kaldheim or something, but my money, Innistrad book, which, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty fucking good to me. They also, with the release of that weird dragon ship, I'm thinking maybe we're going to Tarkir, in terms of magic, in a couple of years' time. And those dragon subclasses for Ranger and Monk will be for the Tarkir book. But who knows? I might just be pulling that out of my ass. But either way, it is time to go and take a look at some of these. Strength Monk sounds fun. Way of the Coiling Serpent, I think, is probably what we're going to start with, because I already have a fair number of notes for this, because it's something I've been sort of on and off working on for a very long time, because it's an idea I want to make work. yeah, there's not really anything particularly egregious in Guildmaster's Guide. Like Order Domain is extremely powerful, but it's not the worst thing on the planet, you know? Like, it's crazy strong, but it could be so much fucking worse. Oh, it's not coiling, it's coiled serpent. Way of the Coiled Serpent. Right, let's see what my notes are. One's blood and soul may only be truly pure through intense suffering and pain. That is the philosophy of those who follow the way of the Coiled Serpent, who strive to bring great pain to both themselves and others, as so to root out the weak and to purify the strong. So, they're kind of evil, but, you know. Yeah, it's, that and Theros. From what I've seen of the Theros stuff, it's nothing particularly exciting. Circle of the Stars Druid should have been in Theros, and isn't, and that makes me sad, but they're bringing it out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Nagas are like the inverse of Yuan-Ti. They're just as badly designed, but instead of being horribly overpowered, they're like ridiculously awful. Instead, like Nagas are like, he who I can restrain people, but also he who I have an ability that gives me 5 feet of movement, and that's it. It's just, oh, Nagas are such a meme. Nagas are Nagas are such a fucking meme. Oh no. Very cursed. Very, very cursed. Okay, right, let me grab my other stuff for it's the Kenra. The Kenra are pretty bad. They're conceptually very interesting, but they're pretty bad. I think almost all of the races from Planeshift fucking suck. Like, the core are awful. They get, like, nothing. Let's have a look. What other ones are there? The Aven are just reskinned Aarakocra, so it kind of doesn't mean anything. The Aetherborn, yeah, it was. it was pretty awful. The Aetherborn are conceptually very interesting, like, but I think the issue with most of the Planeshift stuff is most of them just kind of get, like, you get proficiency in a skill, and that's like the whole race. Or in the case of the Aetherborn, you get proficiency in Intimidation and Resistance to Necrotic, and that's it. You get nothing else. And that fucking sucks. I mean, yeah, the Aetherborn are neat. Like, it's Kaladesh stuff, so it's cool. But, like, that's kind of it. Specific gift. What, for the Aetherborn? Oh, the gift of the Aetherborn is like the one thing about them that's unique mechanically, and so I kind of like it. It's good fun. This was the sort of the concept I had for yeah, it's they're now doing it properly. Like, Magic is getting a D&D set next year, like next Q3 or something. So that's cool. It's like a Forgotten Realms Magic set, which is pretty sweet. But so in each of your turns, when you make an unarmed strike, you can turn that attack into a twisting strike by spending a key point. Should you do so, your reach increases by 5 feet, and you use Wisdom instead of Strength or Dexterity to determine your attack and damage rolls for the determine the attack and damage rolls for that attack. No, it's fine. On a hit, the target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. On a failure, it suffers your monk weapon die plus your wisdom modifier as poison damage and becomes poisoned until the start of your next turn. On a success, the target suffers half damage and is not poisoned. The normal effects of an unarmed strike and must then make a Constitution saving throw. On failure, it suffers your monk weapon die. Your your martial arts damage die as poison damage and becomes poisoned until the start of your next turn. On a success, the target suffers half damage. On a success. How about that? Hang on. Bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage dealt is replaced with poison damage. Nope, they're not doing anything for or they didn't do anything for Zendikar, not to my knowledge at least. I'm surprised they didn't, given how popular Zendikar is as a plane with magic, but they're not doing anything for it. Probably because they did Theros this year as well, so they can't do both. To my knowledge, the D&D team is actually like very small. So the idea of the Coiled Serpent is that they use twisting strikes to potentially to poison to poison their enemies. I think the damage should probably accept the damage dealt specified poison damage and is increased by an amount equal roll of your martial arts damage die. The target must then succeed on a Constitution saving throw, become poisoned until the start of your next turn. Oh, whoops. I wonder what just happened then. Now, where was the... I think it was just a collaboration book. There were a lot of settings that people are pining for that they haven't done anything with. People were real salty about the Wildmount book, which is like, you know, whatever. Like, and obviously Dragonlance isn't happening ever again now. But I should think that we will be seeing. Obviously, we've got an Eberron in 5e. I should think we'll be seeing Greyhawk probably I don't know. I think Greyhawk is owned by Gary Gygax. Actually, I don't think he'd be willing to do any business with Wizards of the Coast ever. But we'll certainly probably see like Dark Sun at some point, which personally I don't really give much of a shit about. I'd like to see some Birthright, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the biggest thing is that we shouldn't be getting so many fucking setting books. Like, obviously the setting books that we're getting are coming with like actual reason for people to buy the books that don't care about the setting. You know, people bought Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica probably and Theros Beyond Death for the monsters and the character options. I don't think they really gave much of a shit about anything else. And I think that's the threat that Wizards are facing at the moment, is they're printing all of these setting books, and that's this is the same thing that TSR did that killed TSR. Like, they printed 1 million settings. Yeah. This is the reason TSR went under. In the 80s or the 90s, I can't remember when they went under. I think it was the 90s. They crashed and burned because they released nothing but setting books, and nobody bought any of them because they released so many setting books that they just kept fucking churning them out, and people just didn't buy them. And people wanted more of this one setting, but instead of printing more of that setting, they just printed more settings and more settings, instead of just making content for the game. And Wizards seem to have kind of mitigated that somewhat by putting character options in all of the setting books they keep putting out. But at the same time, they shouldn't be doing it. They should be printing more game content, more adventures. They released one adventure this year, and obviously COVID probably has something to do with that, but like, they could probably get away, they could release one game content book every year. And like, you know, they could release a Tasha's Cauldron of Everything every year, or a Xanathar's Guide to Everything every year. And they could do that and one other book, and that would probably set them up. I haven't seen a lot of the new spells. I'm mostly waiting for it to come out until I give them a read. But yeah, like, as much as I like a lot of the setting books they're printing, like, it's really cool to see Mercer get some official printing from them, which is really great. Like, it's super cool to see. But like, you know, Wizards should be printing more. Oh, that's fine. No, I'm just saying I haven't seen most of them yet. I'm not annoyed about being spoiled. I think I've heard of this spell, but like, I'm not that interested in finding out about them until I see them printed, you know. Yeah, I'd say there's a good chance I've seen most of them already. The same was true of like, Xanathar's was like, let's reprint all of the elemental evil spells and then add a bunch more spells, which I'm hoping is what they're doing this time, is they're reprinting a bunch of spells. But who knows? Yeah, I really do wish the Wizards would release less setting books, because I don't think we need them. Because I think the people that want to run these settings are going to run them whether there's a source book or not. We don't need the setting books. And I just want to see more adventures, because none of the adventures they've released recently, Rime of the Frost Maiden actually looks kind of good. Like, it looks like Curse of Strahd, and I like Curse. There are like two types of adventures that Wizards have been writing, which are story point, like, vague plot point themed adventures, which just take you from A to B to C to D to E, and they just put you on a rail from start to finish, A to Z, like Storm King's Thunder. What is the other one that is like Storm? The Rise of Tiamat and Horde of the Dragon Queen. That series, the Tyranny of Dragons saga, or whatever the fuck. Those two. And I think Out of the Abyss is very much the same, but I have absolutely no idea about Out of the Abyss. I don't really know anything about it. You have books that are set in a specific area and never really leave that area, but they're set in a very, very specific area, like Lost Mine of Phandalin, Icewind Dale. No, not Icewind Dale. The Dragon of Ice Spire Peak, which is terrible, by the way. It's awful. Like it kind of takes a big old shit on Lost Mines of Phandalin, which is an incredible adventure. Having run it three and 2/3 times, those 2/3 being two separate thirds. You have Princes of the Apocalypse, which is a weird adventure. I'm not really sure how to feel about it. I'm not a big fan, I have to say. Those adventures are like pretty mediocre. Well, those adventures are like kind of okay. You have like the wildcard adventures, like most of the adventures in Tales from the Yawning and Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And then you have like the Omega Gold Tier adventures where they put you in a mini setting. They put you in a small area and give you a general plot, but otherwise let you run rampant, which is Curse of Strahd, and from what I've seen, Rime of the Frost Maiden. And Curse of Strahd is the best adventure I think Wizards have ever written. I've read a reasonable number of adventures from older editions, and like, Curse of Strahd is almost undoubtedly the best adventure Wizards has ever written. It's as close to perfect as an adventure can be. Aside from those hags can fuck off. Fucking night hags, my arse. Fuck off with that. That's some BS. The rest of it is absolutely fucking incredible. Curse of Strahd is like, fucking masterclass in how to write an adventure. Good shit. It's good shit. Either way, let's probably do some fucking work instead of talking about adventures. Me having a moan about having a moan about too many bloody saying books. As much as I would like to see Birthright, because Birthright's fucking rad. Birthright's fucking sick as hell. Love Birthright. Either way, Way of the Coiled Serpent. The idea is that you're a sneaky boy. You're a tricksy kind of. You're kind of like you fight weirdly. You fight in a strange kind of bobbing and weaving kind of fashion. A little, but in a less like Drunken Master, where you're kind of like sort of moving about the place. You're like, whoa, kind of, wobbling about the place. You're more sort of attacking from weird angles, coming in from the side, and doing like a one-footed twisting punch or whatever, and sort of poisoning people via your ki. You sort of poison somebody's spirit just by poking them in the ribs or whatever, which is just kind of neat. So there's another thing there. You can follow the stream if you like. You don't have to, though. I'm quite proud of this message. I get a kick out of it every time I see it, because I'm very easily amused by my own jokes. Right. Ghost Venom. Now this is basically where my written things for this subclass end. Beginning at 6th level, you can poison the very soul of those you fight, regardless of their resistances. Whenever you hit a creature with a twisting strike or a key technique, whenever you affect, I think it's probably a more, that creature suffers the the following penalties for 1 minute. Oh god, I'm doing the magic. Fuck, I'm still doing it. There we go. I'll probably go for another half an hour or so, by the way, folks. Well. It loses resistance to poison damage. It treats any immunity to poison damage it has as if it were resistance. It loses immunity to the poisoned condition. That's pretty good. So it's all about poison, basically, and I should probably put up here is venomous techniques. They bring low the weak. You get proficiency in the poisonous kit. You know, makes sense. You know, you're a fucking monk who cares about poison. You should probably interact with, you know, the poisonous kit in some capacity. You know, the thing that lets you poison people. Just a thought. Right. 10th. So 10th. At 10th level. Question mark. 14th. Starting at 14th. That's one of the major things we changed as well, as we added 14th level features for all of the monk subclasses. Just to give them a bit more personality within the context of the class. Because, strong advocate, if a class does not have absolute minimum 4 features, and I know Monk already had 4, but like the minimum spread of subclass features should be 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, depending on when you get it, 6th, 10th, 14th. You can noodle around with those numbers a little bit and do like 3, 7, 11, 15. That's fine. But if you have any big gaps, that's a no from me. Like, don't do that. That sucks. People hate that. I fucking hate it anyway. The ideal for me is you do 3, 6, 10, 14, 18, or, you know, like 2, or like 3, 7, 11, 15, 17, or 19, or whatever, or 20 or something. Like it doesn't matter, as long as you get those reasonably evenly spaced 5 like tiers of feature. It's good stuff. That should be how basically every class in the game works, and the one who gets it the worst is Bard and I think Sorcerer. I think the Bard certainly gets it the worst. Paladins also don't get it too great either, because they don't get much at 3rd when they first get their subclasses. They just get Channel Divinities and a couple spells, which are almost exclusively awful. With the exception of Vengeance, which is nuts. And probably another one that I haven't cared to look into because I don't like Paladins. Oh god, this fucking chair, Jesus Christ. By the time you reach 18th level, question mark. So I think that the main thing is like ironing out like the themings of some of these subclasses today. I'm probably not going to finish Coiled Serpent, for example, but I'm going to go in and come up with some themings for the other ones that I want to do. Way of the Flowing River, I'm not sure if I'm going to do. These two, I'm not sure if I'm going to do. Like, I don't have anything particular in mind in particular for like Flowing River. I might have something, but I'm not sure. Strength Monk, however, that's almost a must. Like, Strength Monk needs to be a thing. Like, and it shouldn't just be like some kind of like niche, like weird build that's kind of odd and off kilter. It should be something that's like legitimately good. How we balance that is, because obviously strength is bad, and monk is encouraged to not build strength ever because, unarmored defense is in fact a thing. But I want it to work, I want it to work. How we get it to work is another question altogether, but I want it to work. I think the main issue is making it so that Strength Monk isn't super mad, or I forget what that actually stands for, but like, it cares about too many ability scores, and realistically a Strength Monk should care about Strength and Con, but monks already also care about Dex and Whiz, so if you care about 4 of the 6 stats, you're going to have a problem, because you're never going to have a character that has a high bonus, like +2 or more, or certainly +3 or more in all of those, in 4 stats. You'll be lucky if you get +2 or more in most cases. And bearing in mind that like standard array is 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8, or something to that effect. So you have like 3 stats at maximum, +2. And even if you roll, the likelihood of you getting, greater than the likelihood of you getting greater than a train of thought, for instance, the likelihood of you getting greater than, basically we don't want to rely on too many stats. I'm rambling too much, rambling far too much. But I'm thinking like Way of the Iron Soul or something. Way of the Iron Body. I like that. Yeah, that feels like a wrestling thing, and I don't think these should necessarily be oh, you're a wrestler, because that's boring. If you want to flavor it as you're a wrestler, then yes, but we shouldn't shove people down that path, because that sucks and that's boring. It should be an option. And it'll probably end up being an option that's very obvious, the main one that people will take. But some people just want to play a guy who just kind of walks up and, fucking slugs somebody in the skull, Way of the Iron Body. No idea what that means, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what that means, and I'm excited. I'm excited to find out what this means. Good shit. Good shit. I'm also very happy that we are. We've dropped some. We dropped some frames earlier on. We're dropping 0.2% of frames at this current time, which is kind of a non-factor. So that's good. We've not really dropped any frames, so that's great. Hey, we had a little bit of a dip, like a few minutes ago. So that would explain that, I think. I'm trying to think of like how this would work in a more traditional sense. Way of the Iron Body. I'm thinking like tank monk. I think is probably the way to take it. Is the interesting way to take this. So we'll call this like iron body techniques. Starting when you take this tradition at 3rd level, your defenses become as strong as iron. Yeah, sure. Whenever you take the dodge action, so obviously because patient defense is a part of a list of options, you're like, yeah, this is subtly hitting you, like, jabbing you in the ribs, like, take patient defense. Whenever you take the dodge action, you gain one of the following additional bonuses. For the duration, as long as you remain dodging for the duration. Just do it like that. Now, what's the obvious? Resistance and a bonus to AC, right? Those are the 2 defensive benefits. Which one is better is another question altogether. I think resistance is... you could just pick one. Yeah, just pick one. Why not? Fuck it. Let's do it. You gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Or you add your Constitution modifier to your AC. Minimum. There we go. That's how you do words. Of a +1 bonus. Just put. Additionally, you gain advantage. Or not gain. You have advantage on ability checks and saving throws made to resist being grappled, restrained, forcibly moved, or knocked prone. This seems pretty cool. Now we have a thing here that is, positioning attack pushes people. I mean, you could combine them, just be a push master. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no, hang on. I'll add a pushing ability. Steel strike. Oh, steel strikes. Oh, got a hair caught in my mouth. Gross. That's nasty. When you reach 6th level, you strike your blows hit your enemies with the force of the earth. Sure. Oh. 1 second. The force of the earth. Now this is too similar to Key Pulse. This is too similar. Too similar. The first time you hit a creature with an unarmed strike on each of your turns, that attack, unarmed strike, or monk weapon on each of your turns, that attack deals additional damage equal to your strength. Oh Christ! Jesus, that scared the shit out of me. Fuck. Thank you for the raid, Kenny. Jesus Christ. Right, I'm fixing this now. It's so I always say I'm gonna do it and I forget to do it ever. It scared the shit out of me. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Okay, right, so I hope somebody I'm not sure how I feel about somebody clipping that. Jesus fuck. Welcome in though. How did the old how did the big old streameroo go? I saw a little bit of the start, but that was about it. Let me find my fucking Twitch alerts. Cause Jesus. Oh no, that's like a starting number. That's just a starting number. Because yeah. I have money to put down, just not much. Alerts, I think is the one I want. Right, where is raids? Alert settings, animation, media. Right, let me just Oh, okay. Thanks for the raid anyway. Yeah. So, I'll most certainly speak to you later. See ya. And let's, I can't test the raid widget, for fuck's sake. I can't bloody test it. Right. I turned it down quite considerably, so hopefully it won't scare the shit out of me next time, because good God. That was an unpleasant experience. Does additional damage equal to your strength modifier. Additionally, whenever you force a creature to make equal to your strength modifier. Target must then succeed on a strength saving throw or have its speed reduced to 0 at the end of your next turn. Until the start of your next turn? Maybe make it a con stave, so because it's every turn, Constitution. Okay, no, hang on. on your turn, you may empower that strike by expending a key point. If you do, that attack deals additional damage equal to a roll of your martial arts damage. Damage die plus your strength modifier. The target must then succeed on a strength saving throw or have its speed reduced to 0 to start your next turn. So you punch them, and you know they get so fucked up that they're like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? And they stagger around for a second because you just punched them directly in the face, and they have no speed because they're too busy going, They're too busy doing that to move or live or do any of the other things that they would otherwise be doing. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure 100% how I feel about that, but like I think it's cool. I think it has the potential to be very neat, and I kind of like that. Deadly Edge, I forgot about that. Wait, Kensai certainly are deadly, edgy to a deadly degree. Unbreakable body. Stone, unbreakable, and steadfast. You gain proficiency in Constitution saving throws. It's pretty cool, I would say. I would say that's, of reasonable intrigue. If you already have proficiency in Constitution saving throws, you may choose to instead gain proficiency in either gaining proficiencies is pointless. Gaining proficiencies is a complete fucking waste of time because monks get proficiency in all saving throws at 20th level, so what the fuck is the point? I am a fool. My foolish nature has led to the downfall of those around me. How could I have done this? Aw, I'm a failure. Probably going to look at wrapping up pretty soon, I should think. But we shall see. Oh, I know. We'll just call this improved iron body techniques. Your defenses are like stone. Steady. You have honed and perfected your iron body to a near sublime degree. So the word sublime is in here, so it must be pretty cool. Whenever you gain the benefits of your body techniques feature, you gain both effects instead of only one. So you spend a key point to do that patient defense, or just, dodge as an action. You just become like an unkillable, super guy, I guess. I don't know. You become like this fucking beefy ass tank, which is cool and quite good fun, I should think. Hmm. 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 I like this, but I'm not sure how to feel about it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where to progress. I think is the problem I'm having at the moment. I'm liking this a lot though. This is quite good fun. I think we're sort of incentivizing strength in sort of a very kind of tertiary fashion. You know, we're incentivizing strength as in like having a +1, +2 bonus to strength is kind of all you need here. So I'm thinking maybe like get like bonus hit points. Nah, that's boring. Oh shit! Oh, it exploded. That's a lot of pogger boys. Oh fuck! Thank you very much, Livy. I am closer to having a chair. Huzzah! I mean, I sound very unenthused, but thank you very much. I don't know how to like do enthusiasm. What's in there now? I'm very confused. Like, what is? Hang on. Let me just find the. Where's the jar? What's going on? What are those? Oh, they're coins. That's cool. Hang on. I like that. That's kind of neat. I can't tell what they are from a distance. It kind of sucks, but like that's cool. So thank you very much, Louis. Realistically, I should probably put the jar tiny in the corner. Wish they were larger pot. Yeah, no, I understand that. And then my fucking bot making me look like even more of a fucking the fucking money pincher. It's Jesus Christ. But yes, thank you very much. I'm not too far away from being able to buy a chair. Because this is, you know, it's not so bad, to be fair, this thing, like, because I've got, you know, I've got the duvet on it, you know, got the, you know, but still not desirable. Any bonuses to saving throws is kind of redundant on Monk because of Diamond Soul, just making them redundant. Peak form. You gain advantage on all strength and constitution ability checks or saving throws. This feels a bit much. I mean, obviously the ability checks thing is kind of like you gain advantage on athletics and checks to not be grappled, which you already have. So yeah, no, this is pointless. It's dumb. It's dumb. Peak, body, and soul. body of souls? I have an idea. I have an idea here. Your sublime mental fortitude carries over to that of your body. You may use your... No. You... Sort of... Ah, yes, true power. What, am I looking down, sort of this way? Such power. Such... AJ sent me the screenshot of another, the last emote, because I don't know how many sub points I need to get the next emote. You only get to suggest a poll, you don't get to, like, you don't just make one, for fuck's sake. Hang on, how do you... Oh no, I can manage polls. Create a new poll. Question. Well, I mean this. What's better? Okay, right, hang on, here we go. There we go. I started a poll, folks. I did it. I voted on my own poll. Well, technically it's Livy's poll. I can review them in a whole separate fucking tab. Holy shit. Can you not unvote? Oh god, no, you can't. I mean, that technically makes them even. So, yeah, technically they're even. Alas, alas. Okay, I'll, as a... Okay, I'll end the poll here. And, voter fraud indeed. This election was rigged. I'm moving to Alaska with my family. I don't think so. Last I checked, cheese does not get human rights. Although I wish it did. Very nice, very nice. Okay, right. You gain a bonus to your current your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to half your wisdom modifier. By your level. And each time you gain an additional monk level thereafter, you gain additional hit points. I think there's a better way to word this. You add half your wisdom modifier alongside your Constitution modifier when determining your hit point maximum. There. That is a much more succinct. So, say at this level you have +2 con and +4 wisdom. You're a hang on, let's any dice this shit again, huh? Hang on. Whee! Okay, right, here we go. So, you're a monk, you have +2 con, +4 whiz. So, you start with 10 hit points plus, so you're a 14th level monk. So, 13d8 plus 13 times 2. No. Yeah, no, 13 times 2. Plus... Oh no, it's not 13, motherfucker. Oh yeah, and you get 13 times 2 again. Oh shit. That is a lot of hit points. Look at that fucking... Holy shit, that is a graph. Fuck. What does this look like at 20th level? That's the question. Let me just look at, like, barbarians real quick. Barbarians are going to have, like, +5 con. Wait, well, technically barbarians get a bonus to Constitution at level 20, but we're just going to ignore that for now. So, 17... Okay, no, barbarians are, like, leaps and bounds ahead. Let's look at a fighter real quick. Oh god, fighter is only slightly better than Iron Body Monk. Maybe if it was just that, you just gain hit points equal to your level? That seems a bit fairer. That seems a bit fairer. We'll go with that. Right. Add your monk level alongside your Constitution modifier when determining your hit point maximum. So yeah, that seems much better. You get just like blatantly tankier, but not in sort of like a kind of way. So that's cool. And at 18th level, I think your epic gamer points, I'll have you know. Epic gamer points. So I have infinite epic gamer points because I am the most epic of all the gamers, you see. I am the supreme gamer. It's true. It's true. You can't deny it. I mean, you can, but like you'll just be wrong. Ah, yes, indeed. Well, I suppose it's got to be diamond body. Yeah, it's got to be diamond body, right? Concentration might have plus your wisdom. So we're looking at like -7 damage from all sources, which is maybe a little much. Additionally, attack rolls made against creatures with 0 speed are made with advantage? No. Deal an additional 1d8 force damage. Or your unarmed strikes and monk weapon attacks made against creatures with 0 speed deal an additional 1d8 force damage. Yeah, that sounds like... Yeah, that's good fun. Oh, to nil until the start of your next turn. I think this is pretty cool. Obviously, you know, this is the first draft. Could prove to be horribly broken. And if so, rip. We'll deal with that when we get to it. But, this is a fun start. I like this a lot. But I am going to stop here because we have made a lot of progress today. And also faffed around a lot, but we made a lot of progress today. I had quite a good time. Especially a good time that my internet decided to fucking work. And hopefully, it will work again tomorrow. We shall see, though. Tomorrow is Friday? Yes, tomorrow's Friday, so assuming that I can, I will be streaming some magic stuff. I'm going to stream some set design, which is always good. It's always good fun for me, because I love that shit. But yeah, I'm going to see if there's anybody to raid. Hopefully there is, he says. There is. Could raid Leavies or Emma Universe. We'll go raid Leavies. What are they doing? Just chatting apparently. Not sure what they're doing actually. Let me just open up Twitch so I can actually, like, you know, see when the raid happens. But yeah, I will start up the raid here. There's the raid. Right. So I will just begin the raid. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, folks. All going well. We will be streaming again tomorrow. But yeah, see ya.